Howdy folks, I'm Eric Williams and welcome to CapeCast, the official webcast of the Cape Cod Times. Today, we're sending out cygnet signals. Yep, the baby swans have hatched.
CapeCast.
I'm Ian Ives. I'm the director of Mass Audubon's Long Pasture Wildlife Sanctuary in Comaquid, and we're looking at a swan family, mute swans to be specific. And those are little cygnets, the fluffy guys trailing behind the parents. And mute swans are not native to this part of the world. They're from Eurasia, but they have populated the Northeast and large stretches of North America, and are mixing in with the native species. Mute swans will lay eggs in early spring, and usually by June, sometimes earlier, the eggs will hatch and the young will emerge, and they'll stay close to their parents for the first year. And the young cygnets will often take on sort of a brownish or a buff color, and after their first year they'll molt into the plumage that the adults have, and that's when you'll see them looking just like their parents. And during the course of that first year, the young are pretty reliant on their parents. The parents will protect them aggressively from other intruders. Like many other types of non-native species, whether they're plants or they're animals, these are creatures that have been introduced, often by the hand of man or other means, into an ecosystem, and they tend to outcompete the native creatures. In the case of the swan, the mute swan, they're extremely aggressive. They eat huge amounts of food. These swans are very big. They're the biggest bird in North America. They can get up to 22 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. So when they get angry, they can really throw their weight around and wreak a lot of havoc. They will push around other native wildlife, such as waterfowl, and in doing so, they'll push out the native species. They'll also, just the pure volume of food that they eat, they can eat sometimes up to 40% of their total body weight in one day. And this is usually submerged vegetation. They'll eat fish, they'll eat all sorts of stuff, and in doing so, they'll remove a lot of the vegetation that native wildlife might use. The Federal Fish and Wildlife Service has made an effort all on the Atlantic seacoast to try to reduce the numbers of mute swans because of the ecological damage. But there is a lot of opposition to this. Of course, animal rights activists understandably have issues. Many people have issues. So each state has taken on a different position. I know the state of Massachusetts has been pretty hesitant to actively control the species.